abnormal or sickle gene from one parent and one normal gene from the other parent. And it's not, this is not a disease at all. This is just a trait, inherited.
Inherited, it's inherited blood disorder.
Blood disorder, exactly. So, it is one you acquire, the defective one from one parent and one normal hemoglobin from the other parent.
Okay, that's quite interesting. You know, I was actually reading it somewhere, and a friend of mine had to approach me and tell me about sickle cells as we're discussing about the sickle cell run. It's actually the big talk out there. So one of the big things that caught my eye, which was more catchy, was the sickle cell trait. They wanted to know more and much about sickle cell trait. How does this occur within the patterns or in a human being? And yeah. So more interesting, and Sharpens asked me that how does one look, or who is affected by sickle cells? How does that person look?
Yes. Let me start with the statistics.
Okay.
As we know, in the world, we have about 7.8 billion as a population.
Okay.
Out of that, 300 to 400 millions of people who suffer from sickle cell trait.
Okay.
If you look at it, that African descendants, they have about 8 to 10%. 1 to 3 million Americans to suffer. Now, how do we know? We can simply do a blood test.
Okay.
From the blood test, we'll come to know whether the person have a sickle cell trait.
Okay.
It necessarily show one is normal, one is abnormal.
Okay.
And it does not have complication, but very rarely. In patient with sickle cell trait, you can have sometimes blood in the urine.
Okay.
And some patients can have, glaucoma, what you call the blood pressure in the eye. Sometimes there could be, what you call breakdown of the muscle, we call rhabdomyolysis, but not that it happens very commonly. Now, one has to be very careful when you go to the high altitude, because the oxygen supply is less. Because as it is, one of your gene is, defective one, which is nothing but the red blood cells. So when the high altitude or there is a dehydration, and heavy exercise, these are the situations, and person can get series of pains and attacks. But this is not complicated at all. Now, if both the parent is having sickle cell trait, there are chances, 50% cases, they can have a sickle cell trait.
If both of them
having sickle cell trait, 25% chances they can have sickle cell disease, and 25% chances not sickle cell disease or a sickle cell trait.
So it is the other way around. Either there are chances of this kid getting sickle cells or not getting the sickle cell trait. Okay.
Exactly.
Interesting. So moving on with the sickle cell, I really want to know about this whole thing of sickle cell trait. How does one get sickle cell trait?
Yeah, sickle cell trait, it's an inherited disorder.
Just inherited?
It's an inherited. Trait means inherited.
Interesting.
It has to be inherited. So, let me just touch upon the sickle cell disease. When you say sickle cell disease, you have a 2 defective gene, one from each parent. Wherein sickle cell trait, one is normal, one is abnormal. One you acquire from abnormal from one parent, one normal from the other. So, sickle cell disease is more complicated. Whereas sickle cell trait, I told you, like if you see in America, it's very, very strict. What they do, when the newborn, they check the blood and find.
I need to know something. You actually talked of sickle cell disease. I need to know what's the difference between sickle cell trait and sickle cell disease.
Exactly. Sickle cell disease means it is also inherited, that you have a 2 defective gene, one from each parent. When you say sickle cell trait, one is normal, you acquire from one parent. One abnormal hemoglobin gene, you inherit from the other. Whereas in sickle cell disease, you have 2 defective genes, you get one from each parent. So sickle cell disease is more complicated. Whereas I rightly told you, like, about 300 million people in the world who suffer from sickle cell trait.
300 million people.
300 million people. As we know, the population about 7.8 billion as per the census of 2018.
How are these statistics carried out? Is it yearly? Is it monthly?
It's always yearly.
Okay.
Because conducting the world population data, it's quite cumbersome.
I know.
Yes.
Quite interesting.
Yes.
So, I'm pretty much sure you've heard about these kind of complications because looking back in our societies, I happened to meet one couple complaining that their child was affected by witchcraft. Oh. People in society lack this kind of knowledge, and I'm pretty much sure so many have crossed your way. So what are some of those complications that are faced when someone is a sickle cell trait?
Yes. So there is something known as a lot of, you rightly said, talking about the witchcraft is ignorance.
I know.
It is an inherited disorder which affects the red blood cells.
Okay.
So when you have a sickle cell trait, there are certain, occasionally, I told you there are certain symptoms.
Okay.
You may say blood coming in the urine.
Okay.
It can happen. It can happen, there is an ischemia because these cells go and block the particular organ. So less oxygen. So there is, we call ischemia. Less oxygen, less ischemia. And there are some patients can have pressure in the eye. We call glaucoma. That does not mean in each and every patient it happens.
What happens to the eye?
There will be a pressure in the eye. We call glaucoma. There are sometimes it can lead to blindness. So it is better.
Does this also call for the swelling of the eye? Does the eye grow big?
No, you lose a vision. You will have a high pressure in the eye.
Okay.
And sometimes I told you blood in the urine. Sometimes there's a breaking down of the muscle we call rhabdomyolysis.
Okay.
So the best thing is that we must go to a counselor. And before a woman gets pregnant, and if they know she's already having a sickle cell trait, it is better to have a counseling. And now people like us adult, if you want to test, you can go to the lab, the reliable lab, and do the fingertip, take the blood and you can test it because you will see one normal hemoglobin, one abnormal. Or you can also take from the vein of the arm.
Okay.
But if the newborn, you can also check from the amniotic fluid or from the placenta.
Okay.
But sickle cell trait is not complicated like sickle cell disease, but prevention is better. We should always go to the lab and test it. Is always better.
Yeah, like the white man say that prevention is better than cure.
Yes.
That is quite interesting. So I need to know something about more about sickle cell trait. Do people with sickle cell trait do they do any kind of exercises in general?
Yes. Now, when you do a
is it advisable?
Yes. See, we can't stop the sportsman doing exercise, but what happens when there's an intense exercise? There can be the climatic condition. It's very hot. That kind of situation because there's a less oxygen supply. So always better take rest in between. Drink lots of water because we cannot stop the athletes from doing that. But precautions are there. Drink lots of water. Take the break. There have a nice air cooler, air condition. Taking a break. Don't do strenuous exercise. Even when you have a severe dehydration, again the person can feel. So best thing is, take break, drink water, have a nice AC, air cooler. That helps.
Okay, interesting. Yes. Now looking at sickle cells, I need to know something because apparently we have HIV/AIDS as the most severe disease. Then we have cancer, and usually so much has been done. Sensitization, creating awareness, stuff like that, and a lot of money has been invested into this kind of diseases. Is it the same case with sickle cells out there?
Now, this is then again I told you it's an inherited disorder. HIV is not an inherited. That you don't take care, but this is an inherited. So how do we can't stop. It's once it's inherited, whether you like it or not, it's a gift from your parents. But you can have a lot of precautions, I told you, that don't overdo exercise, because if you do over-exercise, there are chances the person can even at death. And if a woman is having sickle cell, if she is pregnant, you will see a lot of urinary tract infection. She will. There are some cases, there could be a premature death. And there are cases there can be a preeclampsia in some of the women, So, if you have a sickle cell trait, we don't advise them to donate the whole blood. You can donate the blood platelets. But in sickle cell disease, you can't donate blood at all.
Oh, that is so sad.
So trait is, compared to disease, it's a milder, And then you can always donate the platelets. But we always see the life of a red blood cell is about 120 days. But in sickle cell, it is always 20 days. They die off.
Okay.
But here only is one abnormal and one is normal.
Okay.
So this is not a disease at all.
This is just a hereditary blood disorder.
Yes, disorder. I told you, but 1 in 12 people can affect by sickle cell trait.
Okay.
If both the parents having a sickle cell trait, there's a 50% chance the offspring can have sickle cell trait.
Okay.
25% chance that they can have a sickle cell disease.
Okay.
And 25% no sickle cell trait, not sickle cell disease.
Okay, interesting.
Yes.
Now, I need to know more about sickle cell trait. How is sickle cell trait diagnosed?
Sickle cell, this is diagnosed by a simple blood test.
Just blood test.
Blood test. You go to the reliable lab.
We don't test urine? We don't test urine at all?
We don't test
urine? Can urine be tested?
Can it be tested?
Yes.
Yes, you can go to the lab and can be tested.
Okay, for one to get to know that he or she has sickle cells, what do they test specifically?
They test for the defective sickled hemoglobin.
Okay.
There is one is sickle, that is one is abnormal hemoglobin, one is the normal.
Okay.
So you go to the lab, like in this country, maybe around 25,000 is the cost of doing a sickle cell trait.
Exactly.
And it is, I think, I told you, if the person is not born, you should, in America, they are always very particular. So you can test from the amniotic fluid, you can test from the placenta, but you are already an adult, you can go to the lab and test it. And this is not a disease at all. Wherein sickle cell disease is more complicated.
It must be a tough one for people out there that are sickle cell victim.
Yes.
But I would advise people to go out and test. I think that is the best way to overcome this thing. So looking at Novik Hospital coming out to support this whole thing about sickle cell run, why did you decide to come out and support sickle cell?
It's a very, very interesting question. As we know, Norvik Group, we have Norvik Enterprise, which deals with pharmaceuticals. And Norvik Hospital, of course, is a hospital. So we have decided since last 4 years.
So you
it's a CSR activity, what you call the corporate social activity. So we would like to support, because it's a major problem. Sickle cell disease is a major problem in this country. Because we decided to support through Pharmaceutical Society of Uganda. So the beneficiary is the Sickle Cell Foundation. So Norvik has been doing these activities last 4 years. This year we are into a silver sponsor. And we support them even by doing selling the t-shirts and ensure that more money can be generated. And with the one simple purpose, the corporate social responsibility. We have to give it back to the society. And Norvik is known for giving back to the society. It will be very interesting to know, Aisha. Like last year, we have vaccinated 300 women prisoners at Luzira.
That's a very big achievement. 300?
300 going to the prison and vaccinate.
For free?
Free. It's a corporate social responsibility. This year, we have vaccinated refugees.
Interesting.
We have around 56,000 refugees we have only in the center.
Are you getting the support from the government or from, I don't know, who is supporting in this whole thing?
Like the chairman of Norvik, he always believed that we have to give it back to the society. Life is not all about commercialization, it's also about. So coming back to the sickle cell trait, he has been doing this activity since last 4 years. This year we came to the silver silver sponsor, and ultimate beneficiary comes the Sickle Cell Foundation. And Pharmaceutical Society of Uganda, I would like to say a few words about them. They are working so hard. We have the secretary, Mr. Opio, and he has been really going all out.
We're actually seeing so much out there. They're doing a lot.
Yes, and convincing people, sponsor, please. And very recently we are with the Honorable Speaker. We met and again we spoke about it. As we know, Busoga is one of the districts which is heavily affected by this thing. And if you look at the country, we have 112 districts. So almost about 48 districts have been affected, So Uganda needs support, So that's the reason we decided to come forward and support this cause.
Now, I need to know something. Okay. Okay. Before we get into our second session, let's first go for a short break. When we get back, I will be looking at why the ZIP are running in to work with the Pharmaceutical Society, why they're supporting the run, and why should you participate in this one come 23rd of September, inshallah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Mwaka oguwedde kyali kituuza kati nno ku luno kibottola ntamu. The Pharmaceutical Society of Uganda bakutegekedde emisinde mu bunabyalo gye batuumye The Sikle Cell Master Run.
Jangu tuyirive
tupirimpye ng'ennaku z'omwezi 23 ogw'omwenda omwaka guno. Omulemwa gw'omwaka guno gwakuzimbira abalwadde ba Sikle Cell eddwaliro gaggadde ennamalere Kawanda. Kati nno buli munnayuganda oyitiddwa okwetaba misinde gino ng'odduukirira abalwadde ba Sikle Cell. Okwetabamu osasula sirinye emitwalo 2 gyokka. Kwanga mujje tuyambe omwana wa Uganda ng'ennaku z'omwezi 23 omwezi ogw'omwenda omwaka guno tusimbula ku kyaddondola gibe kirabu erugogo ku makya. Funa tiketi yo ng'obudde bukyali mu bifo bino: Ecofarm Pharmacy, First Pharmacy, Power of Africa Radio, Shoprite Lugogo, Savannah Supermarket ne Buffalo Kabalagala. Kiwagiddwa NDA, First Pharmacy, Ecofarm, Wide Spectrum ne Salam TV.
kwanga mujje tudduke
Tuyambe omwana wa Uganda.
Learn more about the dangers of Kavera and why you should take a stand against plastic pollution. Watch a brand new special series, Tuveku Kavera, in our Saturday edition, together to beat plastic pollution and make Uganda a better place. Use the hashtag Tuveku Kavera and join the conversation on Facebook, Twitter and Instagram. Tuveku Kavera.
Tukwaniriza ku Kettu ejjudde. Bakasitoma ba Kettu mwenna kati musobola okugula Airtel Kettu SIM card ng'eri ku namba 0708 ku siringi 2,000 zokka. Ky'olina okukola kwe kuleeta bino wammanga: ndagamuntu ey'eggwanga ate ng'ekyaliko eri ggwe munnayuganda, ndagamuntu y'ababundabunda eri abo abanoonyi b'obubudamu, passport eri
Told you 1 in 12 people,
Okay.
that is the statistics, get
Okay.
affected. So how to reach? There is something called sensitization.
Okay.
Now, about few months ago, with the help of the honorable speaker,
Okay.
the Pharmaceutical Society of Uganda and Sikle Cell Foundation, they ran a beautiful theme we call Break the Silence.
Okay.
They've gone to the small villages. And as you know, Busoga is one of the district is highly affected.
Currently in Uganda. it
Yes.
is Jinja.
Yes.
Busoga district.
When you say Busoga district, we're talking about Gulu,
Okay.
Lira, Tororo, and Masindi. And this all comes, almost 14 districts comes.
Which is the less affected? Kampala?
Yes.
Interesting then for
Yes. So the objective was to support those districts. So there is a lot of campaign, all thanks to the honorable speaker.
Okay.
And the Pharmaceutical Society of Uganda
Okay.
is like standing tall
Okay.
and supporting. Therefore, Norwich is also became coming forward
Okay.
and see that this sickle cell trait or sickle cell disease, the foundation has to be supported.
If we compare this whole effect of sickle cells Uganda compared to other countries, which is the most affected one?
Oh, like let me brief you a bit more about it.
Okay.
Generally, about 300 to 400 millions of world population suffer from sickle cell trait,
Okay. Okay.
and about 8 to 10% of Afro-Americans.
Okay.
About 1 to 3 million of Americans,
Okay.
And there is something known as a certain trait known as Hispanics. And the people from the Middle Eastern countries and the South Asians. It is not only Uganda, there is a whole list of people who suffer from sickle cell.
So it's a general thing in the whole world.
It is a disorder. It is a disorder, inherited disorder.
True,
so it's a whole lot of people is affected. But coming to Uganda, Busoga has been highly affected. But I think by doing a lot of sensitization, I'm sure people are much aware.
Interesting.
Yes.
Now I still bring it to Novik Hospital in general, why you decided to come out and work with the Pharmaceutical Society of Uganda to support these people, make their run a successful run. Why is that so?
Yes, it's very interesting.
Yeah.
The chairman of Novik, Mr. M.N. Kishore, he believes in carrying out a corporate social responsibility. He said we have to give it back to the society. So since last 4 years, he has been supporting. The reason, Norvik Group consists of Norvik Pharmaceuticals and Norvik Hospital. Now, being the member of the Pharmaceutical Society of Uganda and supporting both of them, Pharmaceutical Society of Uganda, Norvik, decided to support them because it's a corporate social responsibility. And you are very happy to know, this is the 4th year we are doing. And this year we are the silver sponsor.
That's interesting.
Last year we had a run at Katikati. But this year, 23rd of September, on a Sunday, we are going to do at Lugogo ground. So we felt that Pharmaceutical Society of Uganda is a large organization. So it's a synergy between Norvik and Pharmaceutical Society. So all thanks to our chairman has been really supporting.
I actually like the way your chairman thinks that as doctors, we need to give it back to society. Just doing something voluntary, willing, you feel it's part of you, you need to be part of it. Interesting. So, I need you to tell our viewers as to why should they take part? Why are these people paying their money, trying to take part in this this whole run that is come 23rd of September? Why should they pay their money? Why should they take part?
Because Sickle Cell Foundation has to be supported. Because the first objective is that we would like to have their own clinic to begin with.
So after getting that money, why? What are you going to use the money for?
The first thing is we are going to support them because we need to go for a bone marrow. Bone marrow transplant is the ultimate. I'm talking about sickle cell disease. Today my topic is sickle cell trait. So a sickle cell disease, we discussed earlier that there's a 2 defective gene. They inherit from one from each parent. So it is a big burden to this country. So these people has to be supported. So whatever donation come from there, they will be able to send these sickle cell disease patients to India to carry out the bone marrow transplant. That is the ultimate. But before that, we need to be detected, isn't it? So we, through the foundation, they are going to have their own office. They're going to have they've already made, the roadmap has been done.
Where is that? Where is it going to be positioned? Is it in Kampala? Is it out of Kampala? Where exactly?
It's in Kampala.
But
later on, they are going to have small clinic in other places.
In different districts.
Yes, all depends on the money. So I request even the media, NPS, Salam TV.
Interesting.
We all must support.
I know.
I would like to make one statement here. Just donate your 1,000 shilling. 1,000 shilling is nothing. The population is 42 million. Let us take a strike rate of 50%. So 21 million each month from the salary. All of us in this country can give 1,000. This 1,000 makes a difference in somebody's life.
That's very possible.
Media like NPS is one of the best people who can reach
out the message.
Yes, so whenever you make an announcement, you tell them to donate their 1,000 shilling in a month. So one person gives 12,000 shilling and 21 million people. So
I suppose that's why I'm here with you, to be the voice. People get to listen and know as to why they should give in their money. Interesting.
Very happy about NBS, taking the lead and calling people to talk about.
Interesting.
So
I'm actually having fun here with Doctor. It is Salam Television, and I think as our viewers out there, you get to know why sickle cell is quite still a big challenge out there, and why you should take part into the test and also the run. And we are doing it for our own good. This is our country, so let's learn to be supportive to the whole thing. So, one of my, as we conclude, I need to know something. Is this hospital or clinic going to be built? Is it for all people who come as anyone who comes with a disease, or it's only for sickle cell victims in particular?
This is exclusively for the sickle cell disease.
Okay.
When you say sickle cell disease, in that same category, sickle cell trait.
Okay.
So as a whole, particularly for the sickle cell foundation.
Only sickle cell victims.
Yes, not for the HIV, not for
Malaria.
hepatitis. No. They're all simple to treat, you know.
No.
Yes. This is for the sickle cell.
And all the machines out there that will be in that hospital only for sickle cell.
Yes, but then they need
That's
lot
an
of
interesting one. We didn't have such a kind in Uganda. That's interesting.
Yes, and I think we should be very proud of it.
Exactly.
No? There is somebody, and the Pharmaceutical Society of Uganda is going all out and convincing all the sponsors to come and, contribute to them. I think we need to fight together.
Okay. Do we have any other more supporters besides Novik?
Yes,
Okay.
there are supporters like, as you know, I'm from the Novik. I think I should.
Is the ministry there? The ministry of Health
The
part of it?
parliament,
Oh.
the honorable speaker.
Oh.
And last year, she really supported 5 kilometers run. She was there. This year, again, they selected. She is the chairperson,
Interesting.
So she can really motivate people to come
Okay.
forward and support.
I do have a question for you too. Are you going to take part in the run? Will I find you there at the panel?
Exactly. Last year I was there. Last
Okay.
year I was running
Aye.
5 kilometers along with the honorable speaker.
Really? Was it you or it was someone else in your
I
position?
I am the one. I was there sharp 6 o'clock. We did a lot of exercise.
Okay.
This year on 23rd of September.
Okay.
And I request all Salam TV.
How many kilometers do I expect from you?
I can run for 10 kilometers. Last year was 5 kilometers,
Interesting.
It's good for the body. Exercise is good,
Exactly.
And, always show by examples.
Okay.
And, donation, getting money from the people, it's a difficult task.
Exactly.
So that's the reason we are sponsoring a lot of t-shirts,
Okay, yeah.
So people wear the t-shirts and they'll talk about the sickle cell trait and sickle cell disease.
Interesting.
And I'm expecting Salama TV,
Oh,
the entire cruise of Salama TV to be there.
Inshallah.
Yeah.
We'll be there, inshallah. So it's quite interesting here about sickle cells, and we are doing great, but this is back to our viewers out there that are watching. Let's be part of this sickle cell run come 23rd September. If you're in your calendar, apparently, we just have 28 days left to the run. So pay your 20. Can anyone pay their money at Novik
Of course, the
Hospital?
Novik Hospital, we have put a special stall.
Okay.
Just come over to Novik Hospital and pay 20,000. Take
Okay.
and
Do
walk.
I get my shirt there then after paying, or I get it at the run?
No, you can come and buy it,
Okay.
In fact, Salam TV should take initiative.
I need to know something. You're telling me a shirt and the 20 when I'm going to participate in the run. Is it that if I want the shirt, I pay for it, then I
That's
also pay
it.
for the run?
No, you just pay
My
the t-shirt.
okay, when I pay my 20,000, I get my shirt.
You get your shirts.
Oh,
And
interesting.
also, as Novik Hospital, also planning to put vaccination for hepatitis B.
Okay.
So,
for
yeah,
free?
For
For free?
This will be
You're
paid.
gonna love free things for
Yes,
free.
because we did for the refugee vaccination
okay.
on 15th of August, and very happy to say Novik group is completing 20 years.
Interesting.
So 20 years of celebration, we have already vaccinated refugees.
Okay.
On 15th of August, that was India's independence. Last year, we have vaccinated Luzira women prisoners. It was a
Very
very
interesting.
So you will definitely see Novik Hospital in the Lugogo ground
Okay.
on 23rd, and of course the chairman is also going to be part of it.
Our big chairman from Novik
Yes, big
Hospital.
chairman, and I
Okay.
expect crews of Salam TV
Okay.
to come to Novik
We'll be
Hospital
there,
and buy the shirts.
Inshallah, we'll be there and buy those shirts. I hope there are many numbers because we are quite a big team here.
Yes.
From Salam TV.
Yes.
Okay.
We'll be very happy because all the money will be going to the Sikle Cell Foundation.
Okay. You have that particular account.
Yeah, particular account, and we will transfer this
Because
money.
usually people tend to fear for their money.
No, because I told you that we have to have that thing in our mind. support this nation,
Okay.
support the victims by paying 1,000 shilling per month, which is nothing. A soda cost about
About 1,000?
1,200 to 1,500,
Okay.
less than a soda. And let Salam Cruise, TV Cruise, take initiative and spread
Interesting.
this message through your wonderful TV.
Interesting.
Yes.
So I need your last message to our viewers out there that are watching you.
The message
who are
is-
willing to and those who haven't yet decided, convince them enough to decide and come and take part in the run come 23rd of
Yes,
September.
we are just left about 25 to 28 days.
Okay.
I think being a citizens of this country, whether it's a Ugandan, whether it's an Indian or a Chinese, we are in this beautiful country of Pearl of Africa. Let us all, just 1,000 shilling per month, and buy a t-shirt.
Okay.
You know, if I keep 1,000 a day, 20 days makes 20,000 shilling.
Exactly.
Come to the Norwich, pay 20,000 shilling, and be a proud owner of a sickle cell t-shirt,
Interesting.
and go all out and run at Lugogo ground on 23rd. I request all of the viewers
Okay.
to come forward and support this cause.
Inshallah. Come and support this cause as a Ugandan. It's for all, it's for our country, and doing it for our country. Back to our viewers, please come take part in this run. Remember to test. It is very essential as a human being out there. Sickle cell is not a joke. It's not a joke, by the way. It's a serious one. Let's go take part in the run. Yep, inshallah. Thank you very much. It's been quite an honor to have you around. It's been quite an honor to have you around. I
Thank
need
you.
your last remarks, then we close up.
The last remarks, we are all united.
Okay.
This country has done a lot.
Okay.
Whoever comes to this country, country has welcomed.
Okay.
So as now we are all together, we must support Sickle Cell Foundation by donating 1,000 shilling. I keep on repeating, because 1,000 shilling is not a big, but all your, that 1,000 shilling can change somebody's life.
Okay.
So I request all the viewers
Okay.
to come to the Lugogo ground on 23rd of September and be part of the big group
Exactly.
and support, because synergy is
Okay.
all together, the synergy.
Okay.
The voice will come, we clap with both the hands.
Okay.
So one side the citizen, one side sickle cell,
Interesting.
and let us support this Sickle Cell Foundation. They
Interesting.
need our support.
Thank you very much.
One life we can change.
Very true. Thank you very much. It's been a pleasure to have you around.
Thank you
Doctor.
so much for
Yeah.
it. Was wonderful. It's always a pleasure to talk about the subject,
Exactly.
because there is a lot of emotions, because it's an inherited disorder.
Exactly. Thank you very much. We had an interesting session about sickle cells, and I hope all the people out there that are watching us, you've been motivated. Let's go take part in this run come 23rd of September. And I wish and I pray, like she just told us, just surrender that 1K. You can forego a soda. You keep that money or donate it for a sickle cell victim, inshallah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Good night for now.